YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back, and I'm back here with some of the fellas. We got our top 5 teams of free agency so far. And we did a top 5. Each of us did a top 5 on our best single signings of free agency so far. But now we got our teams, our top 5 teams from each of us. Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Right before we get into it,
Okay.
Subscriber goal. It's at 20K. We got plenty of this NFL content here. It's draft season. We got a lot of NFL draft content. All kinds of stuff. All kinds of great stuff here. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. 20K is our goal. Click the like button. Click the notification button. We will be live during the NFL draft as well. So a lot going on here. Let's get onto the rankings here. I'm going to start with mine. We're going to go from 5 to 1. I got the Cardinals at 1. People are really sleeping on the Cardinals. Or at 5, sorry. At 5. I got the Cardinals at 5. People are sleeping on the Cardinals here. And again, no trades are included in this. This is only based off the signings. I did do a video about a week ago on grading each team, and that was trades included. And I gave a little bit of some rankings at the end, but mainly just grades on teams. That's trades included. And just so we're clear, just so we're crystal, this is just free agency signings. The Cardinals are at 5. Thought they did a good job. I thought they could have sat around and just focus on the rebuild. They got Jordan Hicks, plug and play linebacker in the middle, didn't overpay him. Brett Hundley's a really good backup. I mean, right now he's a third. If they draft a quarterback, he's gonna be a third string. But I imagine they have something and he's gonna be the second string guy. I think that's a pretty good backup. They got Darius Philon. That's pretty darn good defensive tackle for them. They got Suggs. I know he's old, but he can still play. They needed a veteran there. And J.R. Sweezy, I like that one. He's a plug-and-play starting guard for them. And then Kevin White's a sleeper because he was a top pick in the draft not that long ago, and he didn't, kind of known as a bust right now. But, some of these guys sometimes need just a second team to reach their potential. I think if he stays healthy, he's a pretty good target. So they're at 5. The Jets are at 4, a list of signings for them. Le'Veon Bell is the most obvious one. But, they got some other good ones. Jamison Crowder I liked a lot. Henry Anderson's back. Josh Bellamy. Not a huge fan of Josh Bellamy, honestly. But C.J. Mosley, they paid him a lot of money and, made him the highest paid middle linebacker. So maybe it was a little bit much, but, that's a captain in your defense. It's an instant impact guy. And they got Trevor Siemian. Not a huge fan of that one. But they got some big ones here. So that put him to 4. Maybe some of those ones I didn't really fall in love with held them back from being top 3. The Green Bay Packers are at 3. And I tell you what, the Packers could be at 1, but they got some kind of cap situation going on. They miscalculated some things. So that could be concerning with all their draft picks. So honestly, I would consider the Packers at 1 for this. But bottom line is, they improved their team greatly. They filled some needs. They can go into the draft taking best player available because they don't have a whole bunch of huge needs anymore. They got 2 pass rushers, 2 of them. Preston Smith, who can help in the run, stop in the run, and then Zadarius Smith, who's mainly a pass rusher but can do it all. They got Billy Turner. They definitely need another offensive lineman. And Adrian Amos. They need 2 starting safeties. They got 1 there with Amos. And he got quite a bit of money, but it's nowhere near some of the other safeties what they got. And I don't think he's that far off. So the Packers did a very good job. I got the Titans at number 2. They got quite a few guys here. Adam Humphries can play in the slot, can play outside. I think they definitely need a receiver. They probably need another one still. They got Roger Saffold, who I think is one of the better guards in football. Kenny Vaccaro they re-signed, much needed there. And they got Cameron Wake as well. Curious to see how Wake does at his age and then playing in a little bit different defense, but he can still be an impact for them. But, yeah, that Saffold one I liked a lot, so that's kind of what bumped it up. And then the Niners are at 1. They got a long list of guys, too. Quan Alexander, bit of money, but, he's an instant impact guy, too. He's going to change that defense. Tevin Coleman, was the best signing of free agency. They franchised Robbie Gould. They need to have him back. They got Jordan Matthews. That's a 1-year, $1.8 million deal. I'll take that all day. Jason Verrett, really like that one. He gets hurt a lot, but he's a Pro Bowl talent corner if he's healthy, and it's really low risk, I think, because it's only in 1 year, and it's high reward here too, potentially. So, the Niners got a long list of things, and they did get D Ford too, but the trades aren't included in this, so it just shows the Niners mean business.
So did the trade influence your rankings here?
No. I'm just saying they mean business because they went out and did that on top of all the signings. They mean business.
I'm on to him.
Niners are 1. That's what I got. We're going on to Junior.
Okay, at number 5 here. We're going to go 5-1. I got the Jets, Jets. You kind of touched on a lot of their smaller signings, but I'm going to go ahead and the Le'Veon and C.J. Mosley are 2 I'm going to touch on. And if they would have sealed the deal on Anthony Barr, they would have jumped here for me. But because they couldn't, I have them here at 5. I like those 2 signings along with all the other small little depth guys and whatnot. They brought in a lot of guys here that I think are going to help Darnold. I think it's going to really help him. A nice veteran receiver in Crowder and then obviously Le'Veon Bell. But I think that's really going to help Darnold. We're going to see him take a step up this year. Number 4, I have the Raiders. And no, I'm not including the trade here as to why they're here. I like the Trent Brown signing. It was a lot of money, but it was well worth it. I like it. I like them bringing in LaMarcus Joyner. Love it. And I also like Tyrell Williams, their receiver duo. Obviously, I'm not going to take trades into consideration.
They got J.J. Nelson, too.
Right, but I'm not going to go trades into consideration. But they got a nice little duo they're forming there. Number 3, the Cleveland Browns. This is, again, no trades influenced by this one. And I'm only going to touch on 3 signings here. I'm going to touch on the Sheldon Richardson. Love it. Love the fit. That D-line is going to be scary. Then we're going to go to Demetrius Harris. Nice little duo with Njoku. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. And we're going to go here to the steal, I think, of free agency. This is actually a better steal than Tevin Coleman. I'm going to go Kareem Hunt with a 1-year signing.
Okay.
That's still free agency. That was a steal. And they could potentially, because of his suspension, you might not even pay him $1 million. So I think that you're going to see him. If Dorsey's a smart man, he's going to extend him mid-year. I'm going to extend him mid.
You're talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta know what you're getting though first.
Right. So, but you're going to get a little sample size, and he's going to play in the playoffs because the Browns are making the playoffs, and I just think that's a perfect signing. After you kind of see him play, I think you extend him right away because he's going to get paid then. I think he'll get paid if he gets the free agency next year. We're going to jump up to the Titans here. They addressed a lot of needs. Again, a lot of money spent, but I like the money. It was well worth it. Filled spots. Bringing in a veteran pass rusher, bringing in a safety who knows the system, who last year was brought in not even day one and kind of came in to fill in for an injury. And Vaccaro, that's a huge need. Good money they gave him. I've already touched on Adam Humphries. If you've seen the player free agency rankings, and then we're going to go to Roger Saffold, which don't need to say any more on him. That was just a great signing. And you got to protect your Mariota, or as Pete likes to call him, Super Mariota. And then we're going to go ahead. And cap issues aside, the Packers are number 1 for me. They spent so much money. It's insane. And they still have 2 first-round picks. And I think that addressing pass rush need, you got 2 of them, Smith and Smith. And then they got an offensive lineman in Billy Turner, who's going to help protect Rodgers, who for some reason is probably going to break his collarbone again. And then we're going to go to – hey, I said it, all right? Adrian Amos, whatever you want to call him. Love the signing. Like you said, he wasn't overpaid. There was a lot of safeties who were overpaid. And obviously the Bears weren't willing to shell out this kind of money, but it was a good signing.
All right, it's Pigskin's turn.
It's my turn. Yeah, I got the Bills in there.
Bills Mafia.
Give the Bills some love at 5. I mean, their strengths on their team, their strength is their defense. They have a lot of great talent on defense. So what they did was go and get some I mean, not like anything big, but some small pieces on the offensive side of the ball to help their team out. That's what free agency is for, is to get some depth players or some role players on your team. So the draft's where you kind of build your team, but I thought they did a good job. They got Cole Beasley. I know they paid him a little bit of money there, but he's definitely a reliable receiver. They got John Brown, who's a good speed threat. It's perfect for Josh Allen, who just launches the ball, so he's going to throw it deep. Hopefully John Brown can go get it.
He can go get it.
They got Frank Gore. I like Frank Gore. I think he's still got some tread on the tires there. You always see McCoy's hurt, so I think that's good to have him. Tyler Kroft he's a decent tight end. I know they'll probably maybe pick someone up in the draft or something like that. But they also got 2 good offensive linemen. They got Mitch Morse and I don't know how to say this guy's name. Ty Nsekhe? Is that how you pronounce it?
No. Just
Those
go
seconds.
on. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, but they'll help protect Josh Allen. So Bills are at 5. I got the Jets. We all have the Jets in here. The Jets at 4. Yeah, we talked about it a lot already. Le'Veon Bell, C.J. Mosley, Jameson Crowder. I thought they were good signs. What about Simeon? They got Simeon in there.
Wow, what a veteran guy in there. That's phenomenal.
All right. Anyways, moving on from that one, we all had the Packers as well. Yeah, I didn't put them. I mean, 3's pretty high, but I didn't put them like all the way up there because of the cap issues, and they did spend a lot of money on just 4 players pretty much. Amos, Smith, and Turner. But they're definitely going to be key contributors. Like I think the pass rush was the most important one because last year they had Clay Matthews and Nick Perry. Clay Matthews just kind of going downwards in his career, and Nick Perry's always hurt. So now they got 2 reliable edge rushers that are young, that stay healthy. So that's definitely going to help them out a lot. I have the 49ers at 2. Yeah, we talked about Tevin Coleman was the best deal free agency. They got Quan Alexander, and they could back out of that deal after 1 year. So it's it shows a lot of money, but they could back out after 1 year if he doesn't play the same before the ACL injury. They also franchise tagged Robbie Gould, one of the best kickers in
The best. You
in
can
the
say
NFL.
it.
Yeah, that's big time right there. I need a kicker. Teams know what not having a good kicker's like.
I feel you, Pete.
These two.
Riz does as well.
These two are.
No.
Talked about Jason Verrett already. Definitely another low risk, high reward signing there. He's like Riz said, he's a Pro Bowl corner if he's healthy. He hasn't been healthy the last couple of years though, but hopefully he could turn around here. And then I got my Titans at number 1.
Do it, Pete. Do it.
Didn't have any in the top 5. If you guys go watch that video. But
You're giving spoilers away.
sorry.
Go watch the top 5.
Other people had them in their top 5s. But I thought all the deals were, again, free agencies for adding some key players, and like not overspending. I don't think the Titans overspend, even though like they did throw a lot of money out. Adam Humphries for $9 million a year. That's like what other receivers were getting as well. Roger Saffold, I thought was the best guard in free agency, and Riz touched on it a little bit. He's not even the highest paid guard. Like you always see, like everyone jumps each other every single year. But
yeah, last year you had Kirk, and then you had Matt Ryan,
Yeah.
and Garoppolo, Kirk,
Taylor
Matt,
Garoppolo
Rodgers.
started it.
Taylor Lewan was the highest paid tackle, and then Trent Brown passed him this year. But yeah, you always see that. But Saffold is a zone blocking guard, so he's good at working up to the next level in those zone blocking schemes. So, and that's what the Titans are trying to do. That's what they kind of shifted towards this last year, and that's what Derrick Henry had success in. So they went and got themselves a guard who could do that. They didn't have that in Josh Klein and Quentin Spain, so that's why they went and made that move. Kenny Vaccaro was one of my favorite re-signings. He fit the team so well. He fit in with that DB group better than Cyprien. They cut Cyprien, and then they only have to pay Vaccaro like $1 million more than Cyprien was making, so it's not really that big of a cap hit. And then Cameron Wake has just been productive his whole career, and we desperately need edge rushers, so thought that was a great signing. And his deal is also like a 1 year, $10 million. If he's not fitting the scheme or playing up to his like how good he plays in the past, then they could just kind of get rid of him after 1 year as well. So thought they made some great moves.
Okay. Now we have a pre-recorded piece, lovely piece from Danny Provolone.
From our very own.
He has his top 5 pre-recorded. Here you go. Have at it. All right, now it's time for Danny's top 5 teams of free agency. Here we go.
All right, so coming in at number 5, we have the Jets. Real quick, I just wanted to say that it's tough splitting hairs on these teams. I like my 1 and 2 the best, but 3, 4, 5, it's tough splitting hairs between them, especially between 6 and 7, which I don't even need to bring up. But number 5, I have the Jets. Jameson Crowder, I thought that was a huge signing for them. They have Robbie Anderson. They have Quincy Enunwa. They really do like Quincy Enunwa, so actually Jameson Crowder is rumored to be coming as their 3rd wide receiver. But in my opinion, I think it's a great signing for Crowder because we don't know what we're going to get from Enunwa yet, and Crowder is proven for the most part, and I think he's definitely going to help out. I think he will probably slide into that number 2 wide receiver spot for the Jets. C.J. Mosley, huge signing for him. Their defense struggled last year. That was a big signing for them. I know they dished out some money, but definitely worth the money because they're instantly better impact starter. This might not go well with the Jets fans. They probably don't know too much about him, but Josh Bellamy, low-key guy in the Bears, but he was one of my favorite Bears on that team. I liked him a lot. He was a special team standout. He's the gunner. He does kickoff. He does punt return. He does it all. Big signing for them. They struggled in special teams last year, so Jets just got a really good special teams player and a 4th or 5th wide receiver on that roster. And then obviously Le'Veon Bell. They signed him. We all know. We can move on. Raiders. Big additions for them was LaMarcus Joyner. Big addition for them also was Trent Brown. They obviously needed some help at the offensive line to protect Derek Carr. But one of my favorite signings for the Raiders was the Tyrell Williams. They're going to mix him in with Antonio Brown. That's going to be one deadly combination for wide receivers. But another reason why I did that on there for the Raiders is the fact that they have so many draft picks. This could be one of the fastest rebuilds that the NFL has ever seen. And mixing these signings from the offseason with what they have in the draft, they can be back and competitive in no time. So it'll be really interesting to see what to expect from the Raiders this year. Packers were my number 3 choice here. Packers' biggest need was edge. They needed somebody to get to the quarterback because nobody was doing it. They had Clay Matthews, who's now gone, was getting old, but they just signed Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith, the Smith brothers. They signed them. Big signing for them. Gotta love it. It's NFC North's most competitive division that's out there. So that was a big help for them getting Zadarius and Preston Smith. And then who can we forget? Adrian Amos, my former Chicago Bear player. I did like Amos a lot as a Bears player. I didn't want to pay him the money, but that was a huge need for the Packers. So great signing for them. They also got Billy Turner, offensive lineman from the Broncos. So again, protecting Rodgers, but most of all, getting better on that defense right away. So good job for the Packers. Coming in number 2, we have the 49ers. So obviously everyone knows they traded for Dee Ford, so that was a huge, huge jump for them. But I really am a big fan of the Quan Alexander signing. He's one of the better coverage linebackers in the NFL, and he's pretty darn good at stopping the run as well. One of the lower key signings was Jason Verrett. He was the Chargers corner. The guy needs to stay healthy, but he can prove it. I think if he stays healthy, Niners fans are going to be a real big fan of Jason Verrett. Finally, obviously, Tevin Coleman. Niners signed him for a handkerchief and a handbag, so huge signing for the Niners. I'm really happy that they got him because I think that running back position is going to be pretty deadly for them, especially for the money that they signed him at. It's pretty insane to think about. But my number 1, the Titans, Pete's Titans. What can I say? Cam Wake from the Dolphins is a huge signing for him. A huge need for them was on the offensive line as well. They gained one of the best offensive guards in the game at Roger Saffold. One of the lower key signings that I really liked from the Titans and kind of helping them at that wide receiver spot was Adam Humphries. And he's going to be good because Belichick wanted him. So unless it was some 3D matrix smoke screens that Belichick was doing, going after Humphries, trying to take him away from the Titans, I don't know, but a good signing from them because I think highly of Adam Humphries. But and one that doesn't get talked about too much was the re-signing of their playmaker Kenny Vaccaro. I really like Kenny as a safety for that squad, and Titans definitely got better. I really like that signing class, so that'll do it for me.
Well, there we go. Yeah, we all had some similar teams in there, different opinions. It was good. It was good. It was a good video. Check out our Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, links in the description. Constantly posting on Twitter and Instagram, and we have exclusive content on our Patreon. But that's going to do it. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks, everyone, for their support. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.